Hello, welcome back to our little adventure. Now I think we just have a few more episodes until we
Your
leave the port.
Highness, I'm happy you're absent.
Come now, sir. I'm sad to. Would you believe that I was rotting away in those stills? Ta-da!
You might have refrained from the company of...
Take away the risk.
I think... But you wanted to ask...
Yes.
What will be your official title on Tier 4D? Or are you just...
Come now, don't be ridiculous. But His Highness has also asked. I am therefore required to take note of all events. But also obtain as much knowledge as... Your help will be extremely...
It's always a privilege. What will be your...
But I also... Your...
It's
Okay,
always...
so it's...
I need to be
Okay.
leaving.
So we're in the port area, and I have to say the game does look a lot better in the port area. That's a huge ship, and that's a nice ship in the distance, and of course there is a... the beautiful city again. And that's a huge cathedral on the hills. Now, this is our first time in the port, so you know what we have to do. Steal everything that is not bolted down. What are you guys doing over here?
Greetings. I hope your day will be better than mine.
Passerby just, working in the plague air. No, don't get lost and don't go back. We finished all of these locations. This reminds me of Vampire, the game, the forget it. The Vampire, the game with the good voice actor and the bad gameplay. No, don't trigger any cutscenes.
Lively there, lads and lasses! I promised the merchants and their prince we'd be off before the tide. You, man, carry that properly. That porcelain is worth more than your life. There are some children we'd been best to refuse.
Captain Vasco,
And you are?
I'm de Sardet, the prince's nephew. If all is in order, we will soon be embarking on your boat.
It's a ship, not a boat.
Apologies.
Constantine d'Orsay, future governor of Tier 4D. I'm enchanted, Captain. I am eager to board your ship.
Enchanted as well, Your Highness. I hope you enjoy your voyage.
Are you ready? Can we weigh anchor?
We should be able to set sail with the tide, as agreed upon. We're short a crew member. The cabin boy is missing. But have no fear, we will leave without him if he does not present himself before the tide.
Is he an important member of the crew?
We don't need him for sailing or navigation. He's only a cabin boy.
He must have simply had a bit too much to drink in celebrating his departure, like another I know.
I doubt that. Jonas was never one to fancy drink. And it's been 2 days since last he was seen. No, I fear something bad has happened to him. Might I ask you, if you hear anything, could you report it to me? I would like to set sail with a clear mind.
But why?
When did you see your cabin boy for the last
It's
time?
been 2 days since it wasn't out of the ordinary until this morning. My men have free shore leave when we're at dock. But the day of departure, every able-bodied sailor must be present on the ship.
Does the boy know anyone?
Other than fellow Nords? I don't think so.
This Jonas.
In tradition, we are all members of the same
Might I have a word?
As you wish. You're...
Oh, okay. How about, the
I have a
merchandise?
favor to ask before we leave.
I'm all ears.
We would like to load some...
Impossible. It's all merchandise must be registered, so... Unless you're asking me...
I wouldn't go that far.
Well then, they'll have to wait. The next ship for new
Hellfire. If that shipment doesn't leave today, the commander will have my hide.
Captain, I understand your position, but isn't there some way we can get these crates on board?
I doubt it. Even if I wanted to help you, my quartermaster is a half-crazed bridge troll. He's gotten into his head that a gang of ruffians want to use my ship to pass contraband over to Tier 4D. He's placed guards where our cargo is being held before being loaded. All that is not in the warehouse and noted on the manifest will be left on the docks. Sorry, but your crates are gonna have to wait until the next ship sets sail.
Sorry, Kurt. At least we tried.
The commander is gonna have my head. I'm sure that's what he wanted in giving me this impossible task.
In that case, we're going to have to doctor the manifest ourselves. It must be at the Harbour Master's office. Have you seen anyone wandering about?
Take a look around, as long as they don't try and get on what's said. We did catch
A smuggler.
in the port jails. May I ask you?
A couple of heretics are planning on leaving.
Happy to see that you trust me. Just so happens that I heard someone talking about the couple. They were making quite some ruckus. We, of course, refused entry. I'm sorry, Your Excellency, but we won't allow...
What do you mean?
That discretion and malice are often...
Yeah, what do you mean?
Could you tell me a little about your guild?
We are masters of the ocean.
Thanks to your magic, so I've heard.
Our magic, yes. As for your question, any child born on one of our ships is seaborn. Others are sea-gifted, joining the Norts for different reasons. Often from it's how the guild is made and...
Could you tell me anything about our day?
It is a magnificent place. The natives have a relationship with they're a very friendly people. Well, I've also heard that there are a great many, but I wouldn't know what else to tell you.
What do you think of our port?
Are you referring to this one? Thanks to your prince, even though it remains part of your city, it holds a particular certain zone. It's a good port. Were it not for the...
Yeah, that tends to ruin everything.
Be back
Plague
soon,
is
Captain.
bad.
We need to have a word with that people smuggler the sailor mentioned.
He's a captain, Kurt, like yourself. And in order to interrogate the smuggler, we'll need to find a way into his jail.
Yeah, we need to find a way into that jail. Now let's see, we did a lot of things in here. Oh, more loot. Well, I just can't help myself when I see the loot. I'm also trying to find everything on the island, so on the island on this side of the map. Let's go back. So when I actually reach Terra Aphrodite, I have enough to buy all the great stuff. So I can start fighting all the bosses and all the crazy stuff over there.
The hiding place of this smuggler is filthy. But perhaps we'll discover some useful information.
Is that a crate? Yes, it's a crate. Well, let's go to the back door, because maybe this is better for some reason. The game has taught me that you always want to sneak and do something crazy. Nice. Sailor's coat. Oh, I think that's better than what we're wearing. Finally, loot chance plus 20%, which makes it this... No, it's not. Anyway, let's just equip this one. We're a sailor now. Yet it appears those items are not so great as I initially thought. Oh, hello. I think we need to speak with you. But when did he show up? I'm pretty sure we're just looting the place and you showed up. Well, if you don't say anything about it, we are
Good day.
happy to see you.
Someone told me that you're a friend of Jonas.
That's right, yeah.
Yes. Your
Happy to hear he's taken the disappearance seriously.
When did you last see him?
2 days ago, in the evening.
Did anything seem...
Maybe a tad trouble.
Why would that be?
Boy, I haven't...
What does Jonas do in his free time?
He just hangs around here or there. You know the cabin boys don't have half a sailor's wages. And when evening comes, we usually go down the tap.
Did he ever have one?
Never. He sips his pint like it was bad medicine.
Does he know anyone?
No one.
Do you think he could have...
I wouldn't think that for a moment.
I don't know where to start.
No. Lauro won't stop telling anyone who will.
And you don't believe him?
I like Lauro, don't get me wrong, he's like a brother. The itch for a drink gets us all. Here, yesterday, it was me who tied one over, and I thought I heard. I called back to him, as you.
What do you think about Captain Vass?
He's a damn good navigator, and he knows his craft well.
How old is he?
He's not seen his 25th year yet.
Oh,
What do
really?
you think about Captain...
He knows his.
How old is he?
He's not seen his 25th year.
I need to be going.
Well, thank you for the information. I'll be leaving now. So that captain is very, very young, but he looks like he's 50 years old sometimes, depending on how you look at him. Nice, jackpot. And that's the lighthouse, more like the smokehouse. Anyway, let's explore a bit more because I like... Oh. They are not finishing this... Okay, so they are actually building something here, which is nice. But it's stopping me from going to that other place, okay.
Good day, sailor. I've been...
Talking about Jonas, but like I've been crying to the 9 deaf wind.
By who?
What do you think about Captain Vass?
He's a just man who knows his... It's a pity that he hasn't much heart for laughs now and again.
Thank you, Lara. I need to be going.
So, let me check something out.
Hello again.
Well, now, did you find him?
No.
Okay, so he is really interested in finding him.
Were you a witness to the event?
Yes, I was. Even though I'd had a few tumblers the other day in the tavern, I saw him talking to him. And then when we left, him and I, Flavia left a little earlier, you understand? Well, those brutes were there, waiting for him. They just stopped and...
Why didn't you intervene?
I tried to, believe me. But my legs...
Did you report this to...
Unfortunately not. I know all too well what weight my words carry. Even the captain. No, not telling it.
Did Jonas seem troubled to you?
Maybe.
Do you know what was on...
No.
Why would anyone want to...
How would I know? You think my story is...
It's just that I can't imagine a gang of Did anyone else see the...
There was still a small crowd. I seem to recall that regular being there. The kind of fellow who plays from morning to night. To now and again he comes out. When nature calls, you know.
Thank you, Lara. I need to be going.
Strange story, this is.
Okay, so
Something
this
right
is just...
Feel it. We need to lift the veil on this.
But this is just walking from point A to point B and asking people, did you see this man? Yeah, well, maybe I saw him. Okay, let's go to the tavern and investigate what happened. And pick up some nice loot along the way. Yeah, at this pace I'm going to be rich, right? Again, just saving is a good idea, it seems, in this game.
Tavern keeper.
I see you're back.
I'm looking for a Naut.
A note, you say?
According to one of his fellows,
A kidnapping. In my estate. I would have noticed.
someone told me about one of your faithful...
I see. An able-bodied man. Passes his time lightening...
Where might I find him?
Here? He would never give away his chair. Anything else?
What do you mean?
I need to be off. Farewell.
Goodbye.
Don't make me gamble with him. And he says he won't give his chair up at the table, and he's not at the table sitting on his chair. Let's go. This is kind of like a very story-rich area.
Who are you? I don't recognize.
No. I'm looking for a Naut that disappeared to a young cabin boy.
Yes, that does ring a bell. I've played with the three of them.
What can you tell me about the boy?
He seemed rather nervous, as if he was one. And he must have been right to be nervous.
Tell me what happened that evening.
A rich merchant came. The kind of man you can round up for a few coins. They exchanged words with the cabin boy. The kid was defended.
And after that?
It just so happens that I did go out for a breathe. And I think I might well have seen those same men. I wouldn't have thought that they were kidnapping him, if that's what it was.
Who was the rich merchant, do you think? A jilted lover? A moneylender?
No, sir. You are in luck. It was Sir Fontaine.
Where can I find him?
He has a house in the wealthy boroughs, just off the canal.
Thank you.
This man is completely owned by his love for the game. Do you think we can trust him?
What would he gain from lying?
I have no idea. But what would any wealthy merchant gain from holding a penniless child?
Much to my regret, I know nothing else. Good luck finding the boy.
Okay, this is getting really weird. We have spoken to a lot of people and now we can actually enter the Fontaine house family. Walking back and forth. But now we get a chance to visit some old locations and maybe, you know, find all the loot that we missed. Oh, this place brings me so many memories back. It was here just a few hours ago that I first... Wait a minute, where am I on the map? Okay, we're good. Now we can actually go to the first house I actually checked when I played the game and there was nothing inside. Well, glad to see that I'm not leaving any loose ends and I'm searching every location, doing every quest. Yeah, I'll be skipping the dialogue because at this point it's...
Might I help you, sir?
Not really worth it.
He is absent, but the lady of... Enter, please.
Yeah, and by house you mean 2 stories of nothing. Hello, my lady.
Oh, I know you. I've seen you. And to what do I owe the...
I would like to have a word.
He is not here.
It concerns a according to witnesses.
I see. He has simply returned...
Excuse me.
Don't you see, Your Excellency?
I am very surprised. Several and that his men escorted him from the tavern.
Witnesses? In a tavern?
These witnesses are all in...
My son was probably shocked to have found us. A gesture that your drunkards...
What was your son doing on a Naut ship? Why would they have taken him?
It is what they do. Through pacts and contracts, they steal away young children from their mothers.
What are you talking about?
I would have thought that a legate would know these things. But it is true that you are young and inexperienced. It seems that you have been protected from the turpitudes of our own nation and their terrible allies. This horrible, constant ransoming that they put us through. But I will not say another word. You will have no trouble verifying the detail.
Where might I find...
I cannot say, until the Nauts have set sail. We live in fear they will...
This pact. It sounds like some fear-inducing story.
The Nauts wouldn't be the first to recruit through dubious means.
Yes, it's an extremely fascinating story, but can we stop all the walking around just to, I don't know, find a few more pieces of information? This is getting a little hard to bear. Oh, chest. Even better, let's take everything. Oh, come on guys, move out of the way. We have a lot of ground to cover. Yeah, not much happened in this episode. Mostly a lot of people talking about nothing. And maybe we can get a few more hints in there by the end of the episode. As you can see, the quest will actually show you the distance to the character you're looking for. Or the quest for that matter. Let's actually learn more about the Nauts contracts.
Sir?
Are you ready?
We should be able to... I'm still without...
I spoke with a woman who told me she was...
Taken? Her son is sea-gifted. His parents were required to give him up, to honor the terms of a contract.
A contract? But what kind of contract are we speaking of?
A commercial contract. In exchange for services rendered by the Nauts, some families cede more than gold. In some cases, nations even trade some of their subjects before they're born. I wouldn't be able to tell you the condition of Jonas's contract. I didn't even know he was originally from Serene. But what I can tell you is the young man hasn't seen his parents since he was a small child. And ever since, he's been a Naut. Our ships are his home, and we are his only family.
Be back soon, Captain.
Well, that's
You
interesting.
see anyone else who might be able to help us? Anyone who's not a Naut?
How I would like my father to be implicated in this sordid business. Our old teacher must surely know what's going on here. Let's go talk to him.
Teacher, we have a problem.
Yes? Well,
I've had a word with Lady Fontaine. She told me a strange story. She said that he was taken.
who was a cabin boy?
They took him back to
Well,
Britain.
that is very unpleasant news, de Sade. Since time immemorial, there's always been children born on their ships belong to them. It's the rule of the sea. But certain contracts are so important that they also require children to be offered in exchange. From time to time, the congregation has passed such accord, and certain
Are you telling me that the Fontaines lost their son because of some
No. That pact ended a long time ago. This cabin boy couldn't have been a part, but Sir Fontaine has made a fortune trading with the Alliance, via ships.
Do you mean he would have offered up his own?
Well, he probably did it before the birth of the child, and regretted it. What counts most is that you bring the boy. Breaking a contract with the seafarers has always cost us dearly. Our nation could feel it in its coffers.
I will do my best.
A father selling his own son for a few boat rides. For ugly, that is ugly.
Lady Fontaine didn't seem to have any knowledge of that detail. That could be of use to us.
Okay, I'll just do some other quests in the meantime. Yeah, I'll just have to see what the cabin boys tell us. If he prefers the seas, then it's the sea. Well, see you next time. Bye.